Hi, I'm Erin Shanefelder Gonzalez with the Pearl Clinic at Seattle Children's Hospital Outpatient Psychiatry. And I'm going to talk about the cycle that happens for families of children with ADHD. Now, ADHD may be a problem going on with your child, but over time, it becomes an issue that involves the entire family as family members kind of get pulled into these patterns of interacting, and it can make things a lot harder on everybody. And often these cycles have been happening for a while by the time we see families coming into the Pearl Clinic. And our programs are designed to help change this cycle. So here's what it looks like. So on the upper left here, you've got the starting point, a child who's got some different ways of processing information due to their ADHD. They're going to have trouble self-regulating. They may do things without thinking it through first and have trouble focusing. Now, that in turn creates more demand on the parent. As a parent, you're having to give a lot more correction. You're having to monitor and manage a lot of behaviors. You're giving lots and lots of instructions, often repeating them over and over. And because there's so much demand, you may be inconsistent in how you respond to a situation. You may decide to pick the battle one day and the next day to let that one go because it's just not worth the huge hassle and the meltdown. So as that goes on over time, we see that sometimes kids' behavior starts to escalate. We may see kids caring less about what's being asked of them, not paying attention to commands as much, and engaging in some behavior to get negative attention from family members. They realize it's easier and still entertaining maybe to interact in a negative way. So we may see more arguing or resisting, and sometimes it works, so it keeps them doing it more and more. Now, in turn, this is really stressful. You started with a child who was somewhat challenging to parent, but now they're even more challenging to parent, and you may start feeling really overwhelmed, stressed and grumpy when things aren't going well. You may feel like you're just braced and expecting the worst. And as this cycle plays out, we see over time, without support and help, sometimes kids start to develop even more negative behaviors. They might develop some explosive behavior where they can be super defiant, angry, even getting aggressive. And sometimes those kids may also have emotional problems, or other even kids who are more inattentive and don't tend to argue as much. They may internalize some of the difficulties, and it may affect their self-esteem. They feel like they're constantly messing up. Everybody's on their case. They're getting rejected, or they may feel anxious and just feeling like they're not going to be successful in a lot of settings. And when this behavior becomes even more challenging, you're able to not be as consistent as you want to be. Sometimes parents describe it as feeling like they're just having to give in to keep the peace, give in to negative behaviors or demands, and give up sometimes. Just kind of throw in the towel. We're not going to try to get through the routine today because it's too punishing. And the most important part of this last box there is that this is not fun. People aren't enjoying each other. The relationship can become really negative, and kids and parents feel like, why do we even try to hang out and do fun things together if it just blows up? You know, why plan an outing as a family? Why plan family game night if it's going to turn into arguing and stress? So what are we going to do to help? How do we help parents break the cycle here? So our goal when we do parent behavior management training is to pick apart a few pieces of this cycle. So where we can start in a few different places, but one is to try to give families some different ways of increasing the positive, some parent skills to give attention to the behaviors we like and we see more of, to set up structure in advance so everybody knows what's going to happen, and use consequences in a really consistent way. In turn, we see children start to re-engage. They learn that it's going to be more rewarding for them to seek positive attention and have that positive interaction than to continue acting up and looking for negative attention. So we're sort of retraining them to seek that positive praise and reward from us. And they learn what the expectations are more clearly, so they're prepared to succeed. In turn, hopefully there's less stress, but we also want to help parents cope with the stress there is. And that's choosing your battles, stopping the tug of war, learning to drop the rope when you're just totally deadlocked with your child on an issue. Not drop the rope as in don't push the issue anymore, but figure out how to stop the back and forth by setting a clear boundary and limit. And then also respond calmly when behaviors are really frustrating and problematic. In turn, we see this increase in positive behavior. So kids start to have successful experiences. They feel more confident about themselves. They feel invested and they work for those positive relationships. And we see them putting more effort into things like schoolwork because they feel more confident that they can succeed with it. And parenting becomes more effective. Parents have clear, realistic expectations, and they're enjoying their kids more. They're having fun and they're seeking out those opportunities to have fun together. And so this will break the family cycle. And so with a parent training program, we want to start with, the parenting skills box at the top, but even an easier spot to start with is the more fun spot. So how can we just help you and your child enjoy each other more to build that really strong foundation and be ready when you have to drop the hammer on more problematic behaviors? So we'll look forward to talking with you more about how to put some of these things into action.